Have you ever needed a smile to get through the day? Have you ever needed to feel a part of something? Have you ever been going through something or had a lot on your mind? You ever just needed that one thing to get you through the day? Well, welcome. This is the temporary fix. Here with your boy Woods and your boy Jaden. Hey, today we got a special guest. We got a real special guest, longtime friend, longtime brother. My boy Jon Hilliman's on the show. You know what I mean? Oh my God. Well, reigning from Plainfield, takes that with a lot of pride. Graduated from St. Peter's Prep, eventually started playing running back at Boston College, which ultimately led him back to Jersey, led him back to the homeland. And then he was eventually signed to the New York Giants. There was a little heated debate. I need to know from you, Hillman, what's your favorite TV show out of the two? Are you a Wire or you a Sopranos dude?
No, that's The Wire. Like, it's not even close.
Whoa!
That's not even. It's not even cool. I feel like it's just a cultural thing for real. Honestly, for me, The Sopranos a dope show though. Don't get me wrong. I actually watched the whole first season. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty cool. It was pretty dope. A lot of action, things moving quick. So you had to, you know what I'm saying, you had to really know. You couldn't take your eyes off the TV. You had to really know what was going on and follow it. But it's just really a cultural thing. You feel me? Like The Wire is like, you know what I'm saying? It's like inner city type thing. You feel me? Like that's just it's more relatable.
You feel me? We need to know what's the motto of the week, man. What's your motto of the week, man? We always get a motto of the week. One time for the one time.
Me?
Yeah, what's going on, brother? Everyone got a motto of the week, man. Everyone got one. You wake up in the morning and just make you happy.
Yeah, my motto of the week is always been my motto: savage life or average life. I mean, I've been saying that since I was like 12, so that's always been my motto.
Oh, motto. That's hard though. That's hard.
Motto or
Motto.
model?
Motto.
IG model?
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody.
I mean, it could be a celebrity. It could be a celebrity. It's whatever.
Honestly, yo, I don't really be like paying attention, dog, to like them, the models, since like IG models at least. Damn, if I had to think of one on the top of my head, nah, we might mess around and be in the same social circle down the road. So I'm not about to. I'm not about.
Shout out, first Tiana Trump. Love you to death.
Oh man. He said that one.
And Emily Hurley. You know, she's so in love and everything. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her. You feel me?
I ain't gonna hold you.
All right.
I ain't gonna hold you. I slid up on you know what I mean? My girl Bundle with Brittany.
Oh man.
My cousin.
Yep. Y'all tripping.
She hit the explore page a couple too many times, man. You know what I mean? It got me right. That's all I'm saying. I woke up happy. If you wake up happy, that's how you know she the one for the week, cuz. Oh God.
Oh man.
Oh God. How was the transition from Boston College to Rutgers, and what was your reason for leaving, if you don't mind?
I mean, transition was cool. It didn't go the way everybody probably know. It didn't go the way I planned it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I graduated at Boston College 3.5 years. Ended up taking my final season back home instead of entering the draft. Yeah, I mean, I just came home, I mean, I personally wanted to come home. I personally wanted to, if the opportunity was there, I definitely wanted to take it. But if not, I wanted to go somewhere else. But wanted to come home and just, play from the home crowd, one last time. And, I felt like the team was on a rise from the year before. I mean, they won. It was 2 games one year and 4 games the year before. So I thought, a lot of guys coming back, this seemed like it would be a pretty good situation to go to. There was a lot of youth in the running back room, so I knew I'd come in there and, have to, show dudes how it was done and stuff like that. But yeah, it was rough. But it was rough though, it was just rough. It was just rough how it went down. A lot of distractions off the field, and it was tough. But I mean, ultimately, try to, the objective and the goal was still achieved to get to the NFL and do what I had to do. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough at times, but I mean, it was just, I guess, all in all, I mean, got the master's degree, so it wasn't like all wrong. But at the same time, it's just like let's just say it was good and bad. Let's just say that.
You say playing at home, kind of, it just gives you a different feel. You know the families in the crowd. all your people there.
Yeah.
Would you say that played an effect a little bit?
Yeah, it definitely played an effect. Being able to play, being able to come home and play in front of the hometown crowd, former coaches, former teammates, players and stuff like that, dudes you train with, family, friends. I mean, it's a different level of energy to it, when you come home, different level of comfort. So, and that's kind of how it was. But yeah, it definitely plays a big part into it.
I got a quick question though. Like, what is it like to be a college athlete who's like that popular, just walking around campus and stuff every day? Like, how was that? Like, what was that like?
So, I mean, at my freshman year, at Boston College, it was like, well, if John know like high school was pretty popular since then. So we've been like a big name for a while. So for me personally, it was kind of just like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Because I kind of had seen that already. Like in Jersey, like football is a big deal, and if you like top five or top, if you top five in your class in New Jersey, you're known by everybody throughout the state and even places, even parts of the country. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I had already achieved that level of like notoriety, from there. So when I went to college in freshman year, people kind of know you and stuff like that, and you see yourself on like the posters and all that type of stuff. It's like, you kind of just it's cool. You definitely a sense of pride, but at the same time, it's like, all right, well, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Got to keep going and build off of that and don't get too hyped. But I mean, at times it could be annoying though, because like sometimes you can't have too much fun. You can't go too crazy because everybody know you. You know what I'm saying? You do a little something, you do whatever. It's instantly like people going, tweet about it, talk about it. It's going, hit news or whatever. So I mean, it's good and bad. Like,
Well, how about like transitioning from high school to college? Like, was there like any like doubt in your mind? Like, damn, like like this.
not at all. I mean, our school at prep, I mean, it's the closest thing to a college like you can get as far as football. Like man, honestly, practice in high school is harder than college for me. To be completely honest, it was a battle. Like every day, we were going best on best every day, 3 hours a day, offense, defense, special teams. It was a small period of when you would go for the scout team, and then the scouts would just be on the sideline. We just go best on best the rest of the day, and so that's literally how it was. You know what I'm saying? So when I came to college, we just ready. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of guys who leave prep, who graduate prep and go to the next level, they kind of come ready. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what we call it, the prep advantage. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got that advantage from the stuff we had to go through at St. Peter's, where we go to the next level. And if you're blessed enough to get the next opportunity, you ready there too. So now it wasn't really that much of a culture shock for me. It was kind of just like all right, I'm excited to see where I stack up with all these guys.
You did recently tweet that you would take Giannis over Kauai. I believe that's a hot take. I need you. You know what I mean? Can you please dive into why you would do that when Kauai single-handedly took over the East as of last year and just dismantled Giannis and the Bucks, as well as the entire league. So I need a pretty solid explanation.
Well, did he dismantle the Bucks?
I believe they went up 2-0 and then he rattled off 4 straight and got them out of there.
Yeah, I would say that, but that's a team. Would you not say that the team issue? If you going off of that case? Now, yes, they won. They won 4-2, and they came back and won 4 straight, which is very, very, very impressive on the way to a title.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you got to check to see what the head-to-head matchup was. You got to see how the points were and stuff. And I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know the actual. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going off of best season compared to best season. I'm going off of a lot of people throw the whole idea of Kawhi has 2 titles. Kawhi has 2 Finals MVPs. Yeah, okay, that's true. He does have 2 Finals MVPs. That's a lot of respect. And Kawhi's one of my favorite players. But at the same time, it's like that's a title. Getting rings, a title is a team issue. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't really put that in the place of who's better just because he has more titles. If you want to talk about the actual better player issue, you talk about the whole better player issue.
Okay.
Where's Kawhi's MVP? Giannis has one.
Okay.
And he did it at a shorter time in his career than Kawhi did.
Giannis is a great player, but he has not won anything for him to get that. Okay, cool. You got the MVP award, but what has he done in the what has he done in the playoffs? He hasn't won nothing.
Okay.
So until
Would you say?
so until he's won something, there's no way that you can sit here and say that he's better than Kawhi. It's not happening.
Would you say James Harden is better than Kawhi?
No.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Okay. So he hasn't won anything. All right. Would you say?
KD. Couple people. There's a few people better than Kawhi, but not. I don't think Giannis has proved it yet. Every time they go head to head, they get exposed.
No, but he's arguing the whole idea of winning. But then you're as a LeBron fan, that's counterproductive because it's like LeBron doesn't have as many rings as Kobe, but everybody would. I would say 80% of people would say LeBron's a better player than Kobe Bryant, but
better overall. They do different things. I'll say that. I'll leave it at that. I like them both. I love Kobe though. I love Kobe. I think Kobe, as much as LeBron does better, I think Kobe does a lot better.
Right.
You know.
I still feel like I still feel Giannis is better. That's just me. But which I can understand what y'all saying as far as him winning in the playoffs. I think I also understand your point, Jaden, about I can't give it to him yet. I can understand that, but it's hard not to when it's like what's this? Is Giannis fifth year in the league, fourth year in the league?
No, he's fairly new. Yeah,
and he's got an MVP. Like that's hard to like, and it wasn't like an MVP where it's like it was a pity MVP like Steve Nash's MVP when he took it over Kobe back in the day. It was an outright like he dominated and like the Bucks were number one in the East. Like it was proven. You know what I'm saying?
I think he is more dominant than Kawhi, but I think Kawhi has a lot more to his game. I think Kawhi low post game is better. I think his mid range he can shoot the three.
Yeah, he definitely can shoot better.
You know what I mean? He's a better shooter. I think on ball like if you keep Giannis out the game, I think I'm saying I think he's a better defender. I think he's a not better rebounder and stuff, maybe better passer. I don't know. We can get into all that, but I think as a better on ball, if you keep Giannis out the paint, I think
right. Okay, I see you. I was just thinking on ball. Yeah, definitely. I gotta give Kawhi. I mean, it's not far. You know what I'm saying? You can go either way, really.
Both great.
Yeah, I'm just saying Giannis is my second favorite player. So I'm partially biased, but it's not too crazy because of like what he has to offer. But at the same time, that's just my second favorite player under LeBron. Harden's my second. But
you like James Harden at two?
I love James Harden. I love James.
Really?
I knew James Harden was gonna be nice, but I was watching James Harden back when he played at Arizona State. His games was at like 10 o'clock. His games are at 10 o'clock on the East Coast time. They're at 7 o'clock West Coast time. I used to watch him back then. I knew he was gonna be nice. Yeah. I love James Harden.
He's never winning a championship.
Yeah, it's over. He'll never.
You say he's never winning a championship?
No. I don't think he'll get one, bro. I don't think he'll get one.
No shot.
I'm gonna be honest.
I wouldn't say no shot. I mean, it depends. They gotta get the right pieces around him.
You can't take 30 plus shots a game and expect
he's doing 92 for 1,000 every game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's not necessarily true because that was Kobe's and Jordan's what's the name? That was their formula.
Kobe.
Okay. Hold on now. Hold on.
I was about to say
the difference between them is that they were at least as far as Jordan was efficient. Okay.
Kobe was efficient.
And one thing, and for the most part, Kobe was efficient as well.
More efficient.
At times, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
But the one thing that they did that Harden does not do is play defense.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna go there.
Harden don't do a lot. He manipulates the game. He don't play D. It's a lot. I don't think
he got to. I mean, you're right. He got to change his game.
Do you think honestly becoming a leader can be taught? I don't think he's a great leader at all, if a leader at all. Even though he's the face of his team, I think Russ is the leader of his team. Do you think that could be taught? Because I think that's honestly the next step for him. I mean, you put the defense and stuff. I think being a better leader will help his team out too. I don't think he's that great of a leader.
Well, everybody leads in different ways. I'll say it into my own situation. That's funny you say that. So you were there for most like 2 of the years I was there, and the last 2 years I was there, and like you saw junior year how it was as far, but you haven't seen the younger John when I was there, which was like totally even worse. But even at that time, sophomore year to junior year at high school, kind of going crazy. If I didn't get the ball, I was pissed. Or if I felt like I didn't really contribute to the win, I wasn't really happy with it. And it wasn't the fact I was happy for my guys who balled out. I was just more pissed off at myself for not getting involved.
Gotcha.
And I would kind of have an attitude and stuff like that. And people would see it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, as I got older, my senior season, I had to learn to understand that I'm playing with some of the best players in the country. So I don't have to do everything. You know what I'm saying? I don't got to, like, do all the stuff I had to do. Growing up, Pop Warner, man, I used to have to kick the ball, run down, make the tackle, make the stop, catch the punt return, score, kick the field goal, and do it all over again. So that's what I was used to. As I got older and started to play with better players, like, you don't got to do. We got a kicker who can kick. We got dudes who can run down. You know what I'm saying? We got corners who can strap up. We got defensive linemen who can rush the pass. We got linebackers who can make the call. All I got to do is, you know, play my role, dominate offense, you know, go on defense, make plays, and that's it. So as I got older, I started to understand and become a leader and under, like, you know, the attitude. I think that's part of leadership is attitude. Attitude does reflect leadership. I think that's a big deal. And I think James Harden, as far as, like you said, people might not see him as the best leader, but people lead in different ways. I mean, if you know, Kobe wasn't really an outward guy.
That's true.
Wasn't really an outward guy. He may seem like, a lot of people may seem, a lot of misconceptions of Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, was he wasn't a great teammate. He was always, you know, if he had something to say, it was negative. But a lot of the people, the teammates that he had would say he was one of the greatest leaders of all time. He led by example. He led by doing, and you know what I'm saying? He taught, he showed, he did what he showed basically by, look, if I'm gonna tell you to do something, I've already done it like 5 or 6 times. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing. So I don't know Harden well enough. You know what I'm saying? I follow him, but I don't know follow his game as long as obviously Kobe and LeBron and all them.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he leads in different ways.
Jay knows. We got this thing called the Trenches Battle League. And, you know, as of recent, a Plainfield legend or, you know, a well-known guy from Plainfield went out there. I did have the individual from Newark winning, but I didn't think he was going to get – the calls were heavy-sided to the guy from Newark. And this clearly didn't sit well with you, and you challenged a mutual friend of ours. No names will be dropped, but you challenged a mutual friend of ours to a basketball game. Now, my question is, what makes you super confident in your game, or what makes you so confident you could redeem the L for your city? Because that's essentially what you wanted to plan for. You needed to get that back. You felt.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it just made me mad. First of all, what made me mad is just all the chirpers, all the people who was chirping and they was hitting me up and they was talking slick because they know I'm from Plainfield and how much that means to me. And it's just like the whole idea. I'm not so tripped out about. Well, I don't like losing, period. So I guess I am kind of, you know, a little pissed off about that. But I'm more disappointed. I'm disappointed about the loss. I don't like losing.
Okay.
I'm pissed off at how the loss happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, you watch it live. You was on the live. You was watching. You saw just the mannerisms and just the like attitude and like the whole. It just seemed kind of soft.
It looked
like
bad.
the crying. Yeah, it's just the crying for the calls and crying for the what's the name. Oh, he stepped out.
In his defense, though, it was heavy-sided. It was heavy.
It was heavy-sided, but I've always taught in Plainfield, Pop Warner, basketball, don't leave it to the referees if you're the away team. You gotta make it obvious. You know what I'm saying? You can't leave it to the dudes in the stripes. I learned that from a youngin', so I never trip. If we lose an away game and it's some close stuff, we lost. We gave it to them. They ain't beat us. We gave it to them because we knew what the deal was. You know what I'm saying? We knew what the deal was. My trip was that you talking about the trenches basketball. It's the trenches though. That's the trenches.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's the trenches. And you know you the away team. They in West Orange. That's across the street from North. So you knew what you was getting into. And you know the style of basketball we play in Plainfield. That's the style of basketball we play, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like Cedar Brook Park, McKinley Park, Solid Field on the east side, going all the way to West Side, Mill Camp Park. That's how we play.
Yeah.
Literally, double rim, chains. That's how we play. Get to the cup, fouls, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Call your own fouls, and if the foul was weak, we're not giving it to you. That's how we grew up playing. So it was really surprising to me when I sat back and I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just looks soft. And so that's what that's the thing that really got me the most upset. I was disappointed in the loss, but that's what really got me the most upset. So now going into explaining what you asked, the competitive part of me, obviously, I don't like people talking slick. You know that. You know me, John. I don't like nobody talking slick. I don't like nobody feeling like they can get one on me. So one of my homeboys, one of my youngins, that's the thing that I know of why I'm so confident. It's because they're youngin. You know what I'm saying? And so if I was talking to somebody who was, my age, a little older or OG, then it's like, all right, I'll still be confident in mine, but it'll be more like, let's just play straight up. But it's a youngin. I just felt like the youngin was kind of like, talking a little too much. And he can't really, and I know he can't really hoop. And he shall remain nameless, like you say. He shall remain nameless. Yeah. But I'm sure he's watching him and he knows who he is. But I know I can win because I know how to play basketball. Contrary to popular belief, most
they definitely sleep.
Most folks, because I never stopped playing basketball since high school. I mean, even after I stopped playing junior year, I was always playing, you know what I'm saying, intramural league, college, all through, club, all that. So I was always playing, but I still play to this day. But it's just it's just that competitiveness, man. I can't have nobody talking slick about at least where I'm from and me. You know what I'm saying? I definitely can't do that. I mean, it's still on the table. I'm not ducking from it. He got about 4 weeks. We leave for camp the 29th. So he got 4 weeks to answer. And that's that. Straight up.
All right. I mean, I'm playing devil advocate, man. I grew up with him too. You know what I mean? You're my brother. We went to high school together. But I'm saying y'all both bring a lot to the table. He's a bigger, sturdy guy. He could ball too. On contrary, people don't believe he could ball. But I agree. I think people sleep. You know what I mean? But the real situation is when all this is, handled, you need to come out here. You know what I mean? Ball with the guys. My boy Jaden is nasty. You know what I mean? He get busy. I get busy. The guys I play with, we get busy.
Dude, Jaden,
I wasn't gonna flex on here and do that. You know what I'm saying? He did that for me. You know what I'm saying? That just lets you know.
That's respect. That's respect. I can tell Jaden could play because he was really getting hyped about the basketball question. The football question was like, okay, yeah, but the basketball question got him a little hype. So I knew he can hoop a little bit. Now, John, I gotta stop you there. I don't want to disrespect your show. I don't like to disrespect your show, man. You my man, $100,000, but
come on, bro.
If we still talk about the last time we played in the courtyard, is that the same? If you're any semblance of that,
now look, I'm gonna tell you.
I would just stop you right there.
Now I'm gonna tell you this. Look, when we played, I was sophomore year in high school. I'm telling you,
a lot of things have changed. You're right. I can respect. You know what? I gotta take that back. I gotta respect that because I felt I've gotten better as a basketball player as I left high school, as I left the court. You're right. So, my bad, brother.
I mean,
I'll go see it and then.
They know my body.
All right, bet.
My guys out here, they know my body.
Bet. All right, bet. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh man, it's gonna be great. Look,
he can't guard me though. He can't guard me though. Just to confirm.
Here we go with this.
Actually, neither you can guard me.
Wow. You want to attack the guest? All right, I respect it.
I mean, look, I'm gonna keep it a buck. The kid's nice, you know what I mean. But look, he gets a little, delusional. If we play a game and he wins by, if it's 10-8, in his head he beat me 10-1. So God forbid, you know what I mean. He's one of those.
Okay,
it's never been that close though. So what is
10-7? I'm up 10-7.
He can't compete. He's not competing with me. But it is.
Look, I ain't the ball player. I'm gonna say it right now, but I get respect because I can play with the ball players and I can hold my own. Because as much as you're saying I can't guard him, I get busy. Tell him stand in front of me in that paint, see what happens. You heard me, and that's how I feel about anybody who's
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's recently tweeted Ice Cube is your favorite MC of all time. And the audience as well as me would, I need an explanation, because I think it's a lot of MCs out there who's proven to be better. And you know, for multiple reasons. But you know, I like for you to talk about that and at least give your point of view because it's not adding up.
Yeah. So, well, to clear it up, Ice Cube is my second favorite rapper. My favorite rapper is Jay-Z. That's my favorite rapper of all time.
Okay.
Ice Cube, my dog. I mean, Ice Cube is my dude, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So I don't know. Growing up, kid, Plainfield, wasn't really the. So I was really fat growing up, very extremely fat, like almost to the point, like extremely overweight, almost to the point where I almost died because of it.
Okay.
So, you know, losing weight, trying to get into sports and stuff like that, kind of didn't really have much confidence. You know what I'm saying? So I, you know, get people, you know how it goes in it.
Yeah.
You know, people crack on you and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
And
tough.
I never had jokes, so my thing was just to fight. So, I mean, Cube kind of, you know what I'm saying, his was what he was saying, like his lyrics and stuff like that, and it's a lot of, because I researched this stuff way back. His lyrics kind of was telling me a lot of the things that my uncles and my pops and my older brothers tell me. You know, don't be no punk, don't let nobody, you know, don't take no stuff off of nobody. You know what I'm saying? Always be real confident in yourself, regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like typical type of stuff. And so as a kid, I just kind of like gravitated to that, you know, because he definitely seemed like a role model to me. And then, you know, he was in movies and stuff like that I, you know, like,
Classic.
and his music, and his music kind of, you know, kind of was what I needed at the time, right?
Okay.
So as I got older, I started to research even farther back and see that, you know, he was into social justice and he was really socially conscious, and his raps he had a lot of political raps and political albums. So as I got older, like high school and stuff like that, and started to see, like, you know, the emergence of the Black Lives Matter and kind of seeing how, you know, the systematic and how the system, you know, affects me personally and me and people who look like me. His music kind of sparked my brain to like do the research, you know what I'm saying, on like, okay, what is everybody talking about, this system that's screwing us, and really, 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 you know, it kind of inspired me to like move back and go all the way back to the beginning and really like study, you know, certain things, of Black history, of America's history towards Blacks, all types of things. And I learned a whole lot. And I think ultimately, you know, Ice Cube's music was kind of the reason for that.
You woke
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's really what it was. High school, like, because I had been listening to him since I was about 6-7 years old. And it wasn't until high school that his music really woke me up to a different point. It was like, wow, you know. So his music served a lot of different purposes for me. And plus, I mean, that's my dog. You know, I rock with Ice Cube, like personally, like I just rock with, you know, his personality and stuff like that. He's just somebody that, you know what I'm saying, he goes for his, you know, he's a family man, does the right things, you know, as much as he can, and he gives back to his community. You know, and he don't take no shit. Like, I mean, I'm sure y'all saw, it's Ice Cube, one of the realest, just not just rappers, realest dudes in all of music. Just because of he didn't let nobody do nothing. They don't let nobody screw him. He went on a limb, went solo, left a super group, went solo, everybody was telling him it was probably the biggest mistake of his life. He's gonna end his career. You need to stay put, make your money, whatever, do what you gotta do. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He said, then to hell with that, I'm out. I'm not getting screwed. He goes, drops America's Most Wanted, double platinum, first solo album, drops Kill at Will, was the EP, went platinum, goes and drops his best-selling album to date, Death Certificate, which went 5 times platinum. You know what I'm saying? And he did all that by the age of 23. You know what I'm saying? And so I got like a crazy amount of respect for that, because it's like, damn, you know, he really went out on the limb and just said, man, I got to go for mine. I mean, I feel like I'm getting screwed. I feel like it ain't going right. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to like bet on yourself. And that's another thing that, you know, I learned from Cube that, you know, that kind of like amplified my respect for him. You know, so yeah, that's my dude in a nutshell.
You know, you brought up a good point. One thing he always did do was he did speak up when it came to, you know, Black lives and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people now, you're not going to see too many people now, at least around our age, talking about stuff like that. A lot of people our age don't even listen to old music like that anyway, which is like retarded to me. I don't understand that. All I listen to is old music. For the most part, all I listen to is old music.
Right.
But it's kind of crazy you were bringing up the stats, and I didn't even realize, you know, I always knew he was a good rapper. I always knew he was solid. I always knew he was one of the realest in the game. but I didn't know he was putting up numbers like that. You bringing you telling the stats. I didn't know that.
And the crazy thing about it, man, is that his albums, those albums, because you know, anytime you push something out against the system, it's gonna be, you know, opposed heavily by the system. A lot of guys who was rappers, they come out in the game and they're like, yeah, I'm for the black, I'm pro-black, I'm conscious. Then the government get to them, they get scared, and they start to switch, and they crawl. And he has a song called "True to the Game" who talks about that.
To say, that's funny you mentioned the system. Like, if anything, especially these artists and just any, I guess, like anyone political, 9 times out of 10 they don't win that fight. He fought the system, and he's extremely successful, and he's definitely a revolutionist. Like, that's kind of his MO, as far as I know from him. I know he's a great MC and all that stuff. You know what I mean? That makes sense.
Rappers and athletes, at least for us black men, because unfortunately, we don't. I mean, not everybody. I mean, I'm fortunate to have my father in my life. But a lot of my homeboys didn't. My dad was a dad for a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? And so, the rappers. So then the rappers and the ball players ultimately raised us. You know what I'm saying? Like when they say, "Yo, if you got a bully and you know what I'm saying, and he bullying you, punch him in the face." Rapper tell you to go do that, you're gonna go do that at the park. Like straight up, you're gonna go do it. Because my favorite rapper told me I can't be no punk. You know what I'm saying? Rappers and these ball players really have like so much influence and power, especially in our community. And Ice Cube was one of the, you know, the cats that kind of like Ice Cube and Ice-T and KRS-One and you know what I'm saying? Dudes with, KRS
don't get enough credit. I like KRS.
He don't get enough credit. Dudes that taught, you know what I'm saying? That sat back and said we got to do this and that, and you know that. So that's we gotta give love and respect to Ice Cube on that. Now, as far as talent, I probably name you about 5 or 10 rappers lyrically that will chew Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the power and the gravity of what they saying, I think Ice Cube is up there with anybody. You know what I'm saying?
I want to know your top 5 diss tracks probably all time.
I think Ice Cube, No Vaseline, you said it earlier, that's the best diss track of all time to me. I'm gonna go 5-1. So for me, number 5, I think, is Takeover by Jay-Z. The diss to Nas.
That was tough.
Because he dissed Nas and Mobb Deep. And I think, so before I get into it, I think people with diss tracks, everybody thinks about the diss track as far as it being a good song. Diss tracks don't necessarily have to be great songs as far as being on the pop charts, on the radio. It's not made for that. A diss track, and I got this from my uncle. He was in the game for a long time. A diss track has to be judged off of like its delivery, the facts of the actual, like its accuracy as far as what's going on. What are you rapping about? If you're saying somebody got punked in the studio, we want to know if that actually happened. If it happened, okay, that adds more validity to it. And the impact, like when you drop a diss track, did you end those people's career? Like what was their sales before the diss track, and then what was their sales after the diss track? That is like the validity, like that's pretty much like how great a diss track is. You know what I'm saying? So the Takeover, the fifth one for me is Takeover. After that, diss track, what's up?
No, I respect that. I like Takeover was nuts. Takeover was nuts.
After that diss track, number 4, a track that most people probably don't know about is Dollars and Cents by a dude named DJ Quick. That's something, I think that's something y'all need to look up. Like that track. No, that's actually number 3. I'm sorry. Number 4 is King of the Hill by Ice Cube and what's the name? Yeah, you know about that. King of the Hill by Ice Cube. What's the name when they attacked Cypress Hill. 2nd one, Hit 'Em Up, Tupac. Number 1, No Vaseline. That's the greatest diss song of all rap, of all controversy, of all everything. Like it ended NWA as we know it. Ended. It was called the West Side Slaughterhouse. It's like an honorable mention. That's another. It's this record towards Common, and it slowed Common down for a little while too.
But Common wasn't never really like
That's true. That's true. Common was never.
Common wasn't what? Common wasn't what?
I wasn't. I mean,
Not a battle
but
rap.
I know, but I don't think people are really checking for him like that.
Those my 5 that like.
Stood out.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Well, Jay, what's your top 5, bro?
All right, I'm not gonna put these in any order. But I'll start for 5. So I'm gonna say for my number 5, I'm gonna go ahead and put I'm gonna put Ether there. I think I'm gonna put Ether there.
Ether at 5?
Yeah, I'm gonna put Ether at 5.
He said no order. Oh well, nah. He so you ranking them?
Yeah, if you saying no order.
All right, if I gotta rank them, all right, fuck it. All right, cool. All right. I'm gonna start from 1. I'm gonna start from my favorite.
Okay.
I think Tupac definitely deserves to be number 1 with Hit 'Em Up.
I like Hit 'Em Up.
I never number 1. Number 2, I'm gonna throw Ether there because Nas destroyed Jay-Z. He destroyed Jay-Z, whether you like it or not. Number 3, I'm gonna put King of the Hill, Ice Cube and West Side Connection. I still listen to that today. That's on my workout playlist. But number 4, can we count 50 Cent's Back Down when he was going that gyro? Can we count that?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you can count that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he got him out. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna throw that. I'm gonna throw that at my number 4. Number 5, I'm gonna throw No Vaseline there because he did dismantle NWA and he exposed them. You know what I'm saying? They were
early. We got 5. Bridges over. The bridge is over by Carrot Swamp. We got it.
Oh.
Gotta throw him in.
Oh, I forgot about the bridges over.
Gotta throw him in. Number 4. You feel me? Who number 4 for me is Jadakiss actually going at 50. It's Checkmate. He got this song called Checkmate. Yeah, it's over, bro. Hey.
He really know?
Number 3, I'm going Who Shot You.
Whoa. Okay. Oh, well, no. Hold up. You can't use that.
I can't use Who Shot You. Ether is number 1 for me. I got Ether. Ether is nuts. Ether is OD.
Listen, you can't sit here and act like he didn't get destroyed, bro.
No,
You're not.
He did it. He did it. It's probably gonna be an album. Start recording this week. Yeah. It's gonna be like 8 songs, 2 skits. I'm still figuring out the title of it, but it's gonna be about, you know, the first few tracks are gonna be about, you know, how life was. You know what I'm saying, growing up.
Yeah.
The middle tracks is kind of, you know, how life, you know, has become. You know, a lot of the craziness that, you know, experienced in the last few years, good and bad. And then like the later tracks are like more so, you know, kind of where life is going, you know, where I want life to be. And it's more so about my life, but it's creative. It's not really like one of those like depressive type of track. And my life not depressing. Like, I mean, it has ups and downs. I've lived a pretty dope life.
You see Eli, you look to the right, you see it better.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so it's like but it's a lot of trials and tribulations I had to deal with that a lot of people don't know. So that's like a lot of the stuff in the beginning that people are gonna hear and be surprised by. Like, damn, why do you never tell it? Cause I kind of kept quiet. I had a song called "Suffer in Silence," and a lot of it is like, you know, it's self-explanatory. I never really spoke about, you know, if you see me, you always saw me at the train or the practice. I was always laughing, telling jokes, you know, cracking jokes, whatever, or the beat. You know what I'm saying? That's just because I ain't. But that was a lot of it. Was at the time I thought that's just me being me. But as an older man now, I see it's like it's more. It was me just trying to, you know, laugh to keep from crying. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of things is dealing with growing up. Got a few features going in. A lot, you know, some cats that Jersey cats that people know about. Some dudes. I got some beats from my dudes in Connecticut and New York. So it's cool. I'm excited for it. I'm probably gonna get it all, you know, put on beats and stuff like that and record it by the time I get, you know, I have to go back to camp. And it'll probably come out sometime later in like, you know, September or, you know, October. Okay. So, but yeah, I'm excited for it, man. It's been a while, so I'm excited.
Be, bro. You kept this real under wraps. You didn't say nothing. I didn't know nothing. You kept this real, like you wasn't promoting.
Yeah, I just came out with a tweet, and then people just started hitting me up like, wait, what? It's because it's been a while. Last time I did a couple of tracks was in college, my sophomore year. I was like 5 years ago. So they're just like, you know, so I just say, hey man, now it's time. It's long quarantine and you're training. You might as well do something else that I love as well, without, you know, losing focus to football, of course. But you know.
Yeah, I don't think enough. A lot of people talk about it enough. You know, everyone isn't mentally happy as, you know, they seem to be. You know, and
right.
I think I think that's a health issue. You know what I mean? Like that's a health issue,
Yeah,
and I think that's a
yeah,
pride issue within us. You know, as a guy, it's okay to be emotional. It's okay.
yeah,
You know, you're stepping out your comfort zone. A lot of people don't talk about that. You know what I mean? Or I don't
yeah,
know how long you've been rapping and stuff, but a lot of people probably don't know this is
yeah,
real art and stuff that you do, and it's cool, man. Like I mean, I'm doing the pod. People didn't know we could do this and body this shit. You know what I mean?
right,
It's,
right,
it's cool, man. I really
yeah.
enjoy seeing my friends and people I know really step out their comfort zone. Hopefully, be successful. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that a lot.
how much more difficult would you say it is to maintain a social life or a social aspect while also living your new lifestyle and
Right.
being a pro now? So
I mean, it depends. I mean, if it depends really what you want. Most rookies, they kind of come in the game, don't really expect to play too much, depending on, when you get drafted or whatever. But I mean, if you want to keep that social life, you can keep it. Like, honestly, I mean, you just don't, come prepared for practice. Don't, be locked in and kind of do what you want to do, and, but then you're going to find yourself, not being in the league very long. But I mean, for people who want to be locked in and play the game, and it's all about the game, then yeah, it's hard to keep one. But I mean, there's time. A lot of times things you keep one in the off season, and the off season is a big time to do a lot of the stuff you can't really do during the season. So I mean, it's tough at times, but it just really depends on what you want. You know what I'm saying? It could be tough, but it could be easy.
fair. Would you say, me being fortunate enough to know your family and
Right.
have a close relationship, would you say your father or just, your family in general they help you stay anchored down and focused? As a,
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I mean, I got my pops. Everybody know my pops. He, tough critic. You know what I'm saying? He keeps me everybody grounded and humble. My family do the same. As far as keep me grounded, keep me focused. Never allow me to get too big headed, depending on the accomplishments I made, regardless of the accomplishments I made. But they also, don't hesitate to say that they're proud. But they always, allow me to, remind me to keep going and never get satisfied and just continue to press, continue to press for, more and more. You know what I'm saying?
usually come from broken households or
Right.
and fathers and people are in our lives that they don't get enough credit for it. And
Mm-hmm.
situation, blessed enough, that's not your situation. And I think we need to take control of that narrative of coming from a stable household and them keeping us anchored down. And so, like, in some aspects, what would you say he's played a role in where you are now? Like, how important was he in your journey?
It is very extremely important. He's my coach for a long time. He trained us for a long time. He's just somebody that constantly wouldn't allow us to do certain things or slip or fall into the wrong crowd or doing he kind of was always around to make sure that we were doing the right thing, make sure that we were being where we need to be, make sure that we were saying what we mean and meaning what we said, and make sure that we were saying the truth, and so that was always very important. But yeah, my dad was always around, man. He was always around. He always supported. He was always tough on us, really tough on us, but he was fair, you know what I'm saying? And that was always very important. And yeah, man, it was foundational, man. It was his impact on us was monumental, and myself and a lot of other kids, feel the same way. And his impact was monumental on me, definitely.
I mean, look, man, I love to hear stories like that because it's just a different story, man. I'm tired of hearing the kid who makes it without the father figure, and I think we need to change narratives and stuff like that. I think it's a big part
Right,
of changing the
right.
tide. But speaking of kids from urban areas, like, if you do have any advice for any of those kids who are following in your steps, or any of those kids who are kind of going the same path that you were going, because your path wasn't the cleanest,
Yeah.
So what kind of advice would you give them on their journey?
I'll tell them boys and girls, stay focused, man. Just stay focused. It sounds easier than it is, because growing up in the inner city, there's a lot of pitfalls, a lot of distractions, a lot of opportunities to do other things and to fall off the path. But you got to really stay focused and really understand what your why is, why you got into this game, why you're doing what you're doing, why you waking up every day. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure out, um, what that why is, and you got to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, you have to make decisions to say, okay, what I want to do right now, whether it's good or bad, is strong, stronger, or weaker than my why. You know what I'm saying? If I want to go hang out with the homies, want to go do this, want to go fool around with the girls, want to go to all the parties, want to, do all the stuff I'm not supposed to be doing, is that more important or bigger than my why? And if it is to you, then hey, I mean, I wouldn't advise you to do it, but I mean, hey, if it's bigger to you, then that's just another story. But if it isn't, then my advice to you is to just it don't really matter. You got to stay focused and locked in on what you aspire to do. And I think honestly, that's just the things that we have to stay focused on. You got to stay focused. You got to stay focused on your why. You got to make a decision, make the right decisions to towards your why and towards your goal. You know what I'm saying? I think ultimately those three things can definitely move mountains as far as the journey that you're going to be on.
I agree. I think it's important now that especially African American guys like just us or anyone who just have some sort of a platform to speak out and speak to the younger people coming up and as they're growing up and everything. They got to hear things like that. I think it's important to hear from people like that, like you know what I mean?
Definitely, 100%. I mean, they got to, because it's not a lot. You don't see a lot. You don't see a lot of athletes. But a lot of times, the athletes, another stigma is the athlete who makes it out the hood don't come back. You know what I'm saying? He kind of turned his back for whatever reason, and I can't judge him for that. I mean, it is what it is. But they don't really come. He or she don't really come back to like, let that message be known. Because a lot of times in the hood, a lot of kids, a lot of issues, kids don't really, follow through because you don't see a lot of success and where we come from, where we grew up, where, so you don't see it. So when you don't see something, it's hard. When all the coaches always say, visualize it. So people talk about your success, visualize success, teachers, visualize this. If you can't visualize it and see it, like, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to think that it could actually be a reality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it first has to exist in your mind, and then for you to go out and even try to, push it and manifest it, in reality. And unfortunately for myself, I had people who I grew up around, old heads who made it, and either guys that my dad coached or, a couple family members here and there, like, who made it. And so I was able to see, wait, hey, he's that close. My dad coached him. Okay, he's in my whoa. So I can actually do this. It's not too far away. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what pushed me to continue to go. And I think that's what we need to do more of. Us athletes who come from these areas need to have the willingness to come back and just say, yo, man, it could be done. And don't just come back on like I'm running a summer camp. Nah, like, really come back and let people know. Bring people with you. Bring teammates with you. He might have not grown up out here, but he grew up in a place that looked just like this. You know what I'm saying? So he can attest to you. He can attest to you. He can attest to it. He can attest to it. Other people, teachers, lawyers, doctors, all of them coming through say, yo, I grew up here, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, I think that goes a long way in you just seeing, what you can be. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're gonna see what you already see, the gang violence, the drugs, the walling out. You're like, well, I see that, so shit, that's ultimately that's where I'm headed.
Yeah.
It goes both ways.
I think it's very important. A change in the narrative, bro, snatching the narrative back and showing them that, it can be different. It's not all, it's not all the corner and then jail time or corner and then freaking graveyard. It's not all that. It's much bigger, and like you said, like Jaden said, seeing people like you, seeing other, it's a lot of us that's out here, man, even in the hood that come from households that make it, man, and it's cool to hear that story,
Word.
Some music dropped this week. A lot of music dropped. And weekly, we do these weekly bopper flops, man.
Yeah, I'll start up real quick. For my bops, I want to shout out John Legend. Man, his recent project is a vibe, man. He had Janae Nico in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge fan of her. Huge fan. Can't stress that's enough for me. Huge fan. He had You Move, I Move with Janae. Song called Actions. Conversations in the Dark. He had a few bangers on there. You know what I'm saying? That whole album is a vibe, and I think that album's gonna age well. You know? For flops, you know, I didn't even like the Numb album that came out. Lil Durk's album. The deluxe for that it wasn't good. It was not good. And I'm not a huge fan of him, but I'm a fan of Chicago rap as a whole. You know what I'm saying? I like King Von. You know what I'm saying? I got a few G Herbo songs on my phone. You know what I'm saying? Chief Keef, love the guys over there. You know what I'm saying? But that deluxe, you gonna have you. You know what I'm saying? I would light you up right now. I would light you up, but I'm gonna let you come back on your next project. We're gonna see what you about.
Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna let it live. But I don't know if you guys heard of the R&B group DBSN. I don't know if you heard them. They're a little low key, but they just recently dropped a project called Amuse in Her Feelings. You should probably go check that out if you're into that kind of stuff, that vibey stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They dropped they got Party Next Door in there. They got a song called Friends with Party Next Door in there. Shout out to them. And I also want to shout out my boy Omi Fetty. He's an upcoming rapper. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his little thing. I'm gonna drop his ad and everything on our Instagram story, so you guys can go check him out. Dude is fire. He can spit. Make sure y'all go check my boy out.
Hillman, what's going on, man? What made the Ox? What didn't make the Ox? What was trash, man? What was good? What's up?
Oh, man. Well, I've been listening to Future's High Off Life. I've been listening to that. It ain't recent, but I mean, this well, somewhat recent, but I've been listening to that a whole lot. Wanna, man, that's been fired to me. At first, I was kind of like, let's do it too fast. I ain't rock with it, but went back to it again, and feel that definitely. What's another bop for me? Shoot. And those are real too right now. I mean, obviously, Uzi's thing, but hasn't really been recent. But his deluxe and regular, there's been a couple, but yeah. But as far as flops, I feel you, Jay. As far as Dirk, he kind of let me down a little bit. That's the biggest flop that I off the top of my head that I can think about. I was really surprised by it. I thought he was gonna come crazy, but cause I got I've always been big on Dirk from Sign to the Streets 1 to even beyond that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so like he always been, dope for me. But yeah, that kind of project kind of let me down. But hopefully, he probably come back pretty soon.
Because Dirk, bro. Yeah,
he let me down. He let me down.
That's one of my favorite Chicago rappers. I like the Von. Like you said, I rock with Chicago. You gotta love Chief. Everyone loves Sosa, you know what I mean? But Lil Durk definitely let me down. He could have did better. Lil Mosey had a joint with Lil Baby called Back at It. Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. I thought it was I ain't gonna hold you, Mosey. You have a few, and Lil Baby usually don't miss. Throw that away. That was trash right there. Now I'm gonna get into my bops. Straight vibes, I was on my vibes this whole weekend. Black EP, fire. Super vibey. Late night ride, you with your lady, you by yourself.
Yeah, I'm be listening to that later on. Yeah, definitely.
Super dope. Check that out. Black EP. Yeah. You had I ain't gonna hold you. I had to go down to the motherland, man. My boy Burner Boy dropped something for me. Wonderful was hard. I had to go down to the motherland.
All right.
You feel me? And then my boy, shout out to him, man. He don't miss. He's an OG in the game. But my boy Usher dropped the track. It's called I Cry. And I ain't gonna hold you, brother. You know what I mean? Made me think about my third grade ex. I had to hop in my
before we get out of here in this episode, I want to thank Mr. Hillman here, for coming in and checking in with us. It's a big deal. We appreciate it. To the fans that are still checking in, we want to me and Woods want to thank you guys as well, for continuing to come in every week, and supporting what we got going on. It means a lot to us. If you're a new listener, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the Instagram page, you know what I'm saying? Stay in tune. You guys, you want to know new updates, you want to know what's going on, Instagram, all platforms, we're out there, you know what I'm saying?
Oh God. I got something to say, brother.
Yeah, man, much respect to y'all, man, for having me on the show. You know what I'm saying? Respect what y'all doing. It's definitely gonna come up. Keep going, keep going, keep going with it. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely gonna come up slowly but surely. You know, definitely the topics we talked about was definitely cool, man. People definitely need to hear about it. You know what I'm saying? And so anything I can do to help, man, just let me know, man. I definitely had a great time on the show, 100%. And you know, much respect to you, Jaden. I mean, very nice to meet you. Obviously, you're a cool dude. You listen to old school music. I already tell you a stand up dude. Jay, you know what I'm saying? Woods, you know how we go, man. That's self explanatory. But yeah, man. I mean, I appreciate y'all boys, man, and definitely this was fun, man. This was fun. You know, this was fun.
Hey man, I'm glad. I'm definitely glad. You know, you enjoyed yourself on the show. Like you said, we couldn't be more happier to have you, man. This means a lot. You know, because obviously, I mean, I know your lifestyle, and I know how you grind. You know what I mean? So you to make time out for us, it really means a lot, man. I appreciate you. Again, shout out to all the essential workers. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the first time listeners, the last time listeners. Shout out to the supporters that's been following us forever, man. And you know like what I always say, man, follow the innovators, not the imitators.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
No stresses, more blessings. Peace.
Hey guys, what's going on, man? It's your boy Jay. Real quick, I just want to thank you guys for tuning into the Temporary Fix podcast with your host, me, Woods, and Ram. And we hope you enjoyed yourself and you tune in next week for new content. If you guys want to keep in touch what we got going on and stay updated, hit the link below to get to our website. Peace.